I love you, Skyline.
So people often ask me, why is there only one Chibi-Ko Chorokyu? Well, first of all, it was never my intention to turn this into a series. And second of all, it speaks for itself. It doesn't matter how small it is because it is simply the best Chorokyu. Okay, fine, we'll give it an upgrade.
Shazam!
I'd like to take a little peek under the hood.
I think it's fucking stock!
私はあなたたちの仲間になれたってことでいいの？
ああ、そういうこと。
It's a classic, old school, American muscle.
Now, to be fair, a lot of Japanese cars during the 1970s resembled American muscle cars, and the second-gen Skyline was one of them. With its romantic advertisements, this car was given the nickname Kenmary, which was a reference to the couple featured in the commercials. It sounds much better than calling it by its actual name, the KPG C110. How poetic. Unfortunately, due to poor sales, there were only 197 ever produced, making this one of the rarest GTRs in the world. So what happened? Well, it wasn't much of an upgrade from its predecessor, and also, the oil crisis happened. You see this? This was just a prototype. This thing never got to race. How sad. If only it had been released a little bit sooner.
Hot dog doggo! Hot dog doggo!
誰に見せるつもり？
The hell with this. I don't have any fond memories with this game anyway. Now, I'll be honest. I was originally going to purchase this version, which obviously looks a lot like the Chibi-Ko one. But it's pretty rare and very expensive, so...
ごめん。
But there's a reason why I chose this one. Not just because it came with the Hakusu... But it also reminded me of the first time I ever saw the Kenmary. So despite knowing about the Skyline GTR my entire life, I had no idea the Kenmary even existed until I was 4 years old. Okay, maybe I exaggerated that a little bit, but here's what happened. Back in 2005, during a trip to Japan, my uncle showed me this GTR DVD. On this DVD, there were several segments showing off some of the different GTR models. Most of these were filmed at the Red Park Princeton Skyline Museum, and one of these was the Kenmary. It was white with dark 8-spoke rims. Not an exact match, but close enough. So up until this point, I didn't know this model even existed, and I guess I was a little confused by it because it looked a little out of place when paired with the other models. I remember my brother said something like, "It looks like a GTO."
Cruising around in my GTO.
And yeah, it sure does. But you know what? I liked it immediately. And I really don't know why. I like all sorts of cars, but I've never been that obsessed with cars like Mustangs and all of that, so I don't know. I just like it. And I'll go as far as to say that this might be my second favorite Skyline. And that says a lot. However, I find it irritating how this car is often forgotten about. I get that the Hakosuka is more iconic, but even the R33 gets more attention. And I bring this up because I feel like this one gets a lot of hate. And while it may not be as loved as the other models, this car got to be in Driver San Francisco, one of the most underrated racing games of all time. A bit of an odd choice, but I respect the fact that they chose a less common Skyline. Not to mention, this car appeared in the Fast and the Furious, and so did every other Skyline, except for the Kenmary. And then of course, the R34 is the one that usually gets all the love. Now, I'm sure some of you know that the R34 GTR is my favorite car of all time, so no complaints here. But as for the Ken Mary, I don't know. Gran Turismo, Forza, CSR Classics, I think that's about it. But what's even more frustrating is that I have yet to see one of these in person. Well, actually, I may have seen one back in 2012. We were sitting in traffic or something, and we may have passed a Ken Mary. Not the GTR, just a standard one, but I don't know. Regardless, I really want to see one of these things. Maybe I should go to the Red Park Museum. Someday, I suppose. Bottom line, this car is severely underrated. But if you prefer the Hakusuka, that's fine. I really don't mind. So now what?
あれ戻ってきたよ
Now we're all going to be in the Skyline 2000 GTR at today's event.
Hey look, it's Godzilla!
It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not.
その時、空気を味方につける。
何を言ってるの
Okay, so I'm sorry that this one wasn't as action-packed as the last one, but when it comes to these Chorky videos, you really don't know what to expect. I mean, I tried like hell to come up with more ideas, but I just couldn't think of anything else, partially because of the lack of media featuring this car. But I realized that I had a lot to say about this car, so hopefully this one wasn't too disappointing for you. Anyway, I'm pretty tired, so I'm just gonna end it here.
ありがとう。